Hello, everyone, and welcome to Z Talk. This is your host, Henry Zaldivar. And today I have a very special guest, a friend and colleague of mine, Stephanie Fortune from Fortune Business Consulting. She's going to talk about the services that she offers. And hopefully, if you're in her market segment, I think she'd be a great candidate to work with. And as we go through this conversation, she's going to talk about, her company, what they do and how you could benefit from using her services. So Stephanie, my friend, good morning. And
Good morning.
And turn it over to you to do your introduction and let my viewers know who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so very much for having me, Henry. I'm excited to be here and talking to your network and to your community at large about what I do. So as you mentioned, I am Stephanie Fortune, founder of Fortune Business Consulting. In a nutshell, what my company does, we offer consultative services in four core areas. So number one being payroll, right? So that's maybe you're individual and you're looking to pay your folks, right? So these could be 1099 persons, these could be W-2 persons. We're able to help processing those payrolls, help with time and attendance, accrual, so on and so forth. The second area is human resource services. So that's everything from hire to retire, literally everything in between in the lifespan of having employees. The third area is workers' compensation. So again, let's say you have W-2 employees, for whatever reason, there's an accident at work, right? So now this is during the scope of work, there's an accident or a claim. This line of insurance will kick in to, pay for time away from work. Let's say worst case, there's a death, it also pays the death benefit, hospital expenses, so on and so forth. And then lastly, you have health insurance. So of course, everybody wants health insurance. It's a touchy subject, but when an employer can offer it, it's great because again, the employees feel a little bit more appreciated. They feel like the company is kind of making more of an effort to offer it to them. So again, this is offered from the business owner. Again, we're talking about health, dental, vision, ancillary benefits as well. So 401k, life insurance and things of that nature. So ultimately, what we do is shop on the behalf of clients, so business owners, again, to find these solutions for their business and make sure we find the right fit for their organization.
That's awesome. So Fortune Business Consulting isn't the actual provider. You have a network that you work with to provide the best, the best fit and best solution for your client. Is that correct?
That's correct. We know that not every business is designed the same. So when it comes to solutions within these areas, it's not going to just be a one size fits all, right? A lot of companies know about maybe ADP or Paychecks, but sometimes that solution may not be the ideal fit for your organization, right? We know that the business life cycle varies. So you can be a small business that's just starting out, maybe 2 or 3 employees, compared to a business that's been in the industry or been established for, let's say, 30 plus years, have maybe 400 or 500 employees. The solutions will be different and the cost elements will also be different.
For sure.
So what we do is work strategically and based on our clients' needs and budget to ultimately find the best solution for them.
And the market you serve, is it is it the small business market? Is it in South Florida? How do you go after your clients and your prospects down in your market?
Sure, great question. So for us, when we're servicing our clients, we like to focus on small and medium-sized businesses. And that's primarily because they're the ones that need a good portion of the support. Where you have these larger entities, these enterprise corporations, they traditionally have these things in-house, right? And they can afford to have it in-house. They may have a full HR department that's able to manage a lot of these things for them. So we target and tailor solutions for smaller and mid-sized businesses. And we can work all throughout not only the state of Florida, but throughout the country. Again, it's truly based on my clients' needs. I have some clients that may have 3 or 4 locations, some based in Florida, some in LA, some in Georgia. And so when we have a client that have multiple locations or even within the state of Florida, for example, because I'm local, so I'm in the state of Florida, even when we do have clients in the state of Florida, but have multiple locations in Florida, we're also able to provide a solution to those guys as well.
Okay, and when you talk to these out of state, or obviously, given the times we're living, right, with the whole pandemic and everything, are you doing most of your business like this through video or through a webcam or something like that?
Another great
Yep.
question. So yes, and we're in 2021 now, and we're seeing still much of the same. So when I'm working with clients that, even in the state of Florida, literally, right? They can be right next door. They're still, preferring to do calls via Zoom, right? So I've now done at this point, I can't even give you a number, but more transactions, and work with more customers from end to end, right? So from, hey, I have a client that might need your services, Stephanie. Can you hop on a quick Zoom call from, that discovery meeting to learn what they're experiencing, some of the challenges they're facing, to presenting our solution, and then fully enrolling their whole and entire staff. So
Wow.
I've done that entire process all through Zoom, and I've done that for several clients at this point. So
Wow.
yes,
So
whether you're local and you
yeah.
just don't want to drive anymore, or you're out of state, we can absolutely find a solution for you and put it in place all seamlessly virtually. So it doesn't have to be Zoom, but we can
Right.
do it virtually for our clients.
So how do you handle the paperwork side? Are you sending them documents and they DocuSign, or are you sending papers and they have to sign it and fax it back or email? How do you handle the paperwork? Because I know a lot of paperwork is involved in
Yes,
this, right?
yes, especially when you're talking about HR, there's a
Yeah.
tremendous amount of paperwork. So what we do is exactly what you said, right? We ultimately work with our clients to see what works best. So in some instances, we still know that people prefer to print out certain documents, sign it. They like that wet ink, they sign it, scan
Hmm.
it back to us, right? We also have other clients where, and again, even within that same organization, there might be employees. So let's use a one of my last clients was a moving company. They're always on the road, right? So we had the administrative staff that was in office. She preferred to print everything out, sign it, and send it back to me. But her team, or the team,
Hmm.
they prefer to have everything electronic. So we can use a combination of Adobe Sign or DocuSign to load up that information for their employees and send it out to them. So we're talking about, the W-4, we're talking about I-9, we're wanting to verify the banking information. So all of that can be done electronically. And again, we tailor it to what works best. Because if I'm on the road 24/7 and I can't get to a computer, I'd rather you DocuSign or
That's right.
Adobe Sign and I'll get it back to you, as opposed to waiting a day, 2 days, 3 days prior to when I'm actually like settled, sane, and can
Yes.
review everything and send it back. So it's just much more efficient that way as well.
Good. Good. Just good for people to know that even though we're not in person anymore, or at least not as much as we used to be, we can still help each other and help our clients and transact business without
Absolutely.
needing to be in person. But this medium that we're using today with video, with Zoom or Teams or however we're using it, has become like the new standard for, I guess, for
Absolutely.
yourself, but also for me. I do most of my
Sure.
client meetings are done with this medium. Even our internal meetings, we do it like this. And our office, which is here in the Doral area of Miami, we rarely go into the office because we can do everything and anything right here. The only thing we miss is the person to person
Yes.
interaction, right?
Yes.
And spending the day working and cracking jokes and getting
Yes.
through your day, right? But that's the only part I miss, is that interaction with people. But I substitute it with these type of calls. So I'm sure
Awesome.
you're going through the same thing, and many of my viewers are going through the same thing.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So I know that and I'm a social person. Like I like to say that I'm an extroverted introvert or introverted extrovert, where I'm like in
Right.
that middle space. So I certainly get, time where I'm like, I need to be antisocial, but for the most part, I love
Yeah.
connecting with people, and especially partners like yourself, especially my client. So that's one thing where we don't get that face-to-face interaction. You don't feel all that energy, but I try to bring that energy even virtually, because I know that it's so important. And especially in communication, it's harder when you're not either able to see someone or you're not able to hear them, that great, or so on and so forth. So I try to bring it all. But yeah, from end to end, we can provide solutions, and I know the same. The case is the same for you as well.
Yeah. So aside from Fortune Business Consulting, which obviously is growing and you're becoming more and more successful, so congratulations on that.
Thank you, thank you.
You're also involved in other activities out there. I know I've seen a few posts of yours on LinkedIn, and I think there's one or two groups or
At this
you're
point,
involved
several.
in. Yeah, no, you got,
Yeah.
but there's
So
a few major ones, right?
Sure, sure. So right now, I could easily say that you're likely referencing Handy. So that's a nonprofit
Mhm.
organization, and Handy stands for Helping Abused, Neglected, and Disadvantaged Youth. So they're a nonprofit organization here in South Florida that helps young persons that have either gone through homelessness, maybe abuse in the foster care system, or something of that effect, and they support them. Right? That could be anything from food support, scholarships at university, helping with rent. We've had cases where we've helped with hospital bills and funerals, especially again, unfortunately, as a result of COVID, we've seen our need increase.
Yeah.
So that's another organization that I support. I sit on the board for the Latin Association of Insurance Agents. So again, that's the local insurance agency. And so I sit on their board. I'm also connected with the Greater Sunrise Chamber of Commerce. I also sit on their board. I'm involved with the Tower Club. I'm a council with them, running a group home. So I'm quite involved. I'm quite involved with the community. And ultimately,
Yeah.
my goal in life and passion is truly to empower. So I try to do that wherever I can, and ultimately, I'm able to do that, whether that be through my business relationships and connecting with persons like you, or even with nonprofit organizations and supporting their causes as well.
Well, see, you're a well-rounded person and experienced, and you have a good heart. So that's, that says a lot about you.
Thank you,
And I
thank
hope that my clients are and people that are viewing this show are seeing the kind of person that you are. And I wanted to make sure I brought that
you.
up at the end because, aside from the work that you do, which is great, and you help out small businesses, you're also involved in other areas that help the community and help others to move forward. And those that need a helping hand, like you said, the Handy
Absolutely,
organization, you're there, part of it to provide that. So,
absolutely,
congratulations on that
absolutely.
as well. You have any time for your husband?
Listen, if you ask him, he'll tell you no. So let's not even go there. But no, so and it's funny you say that, because in the last week, well, actually in the last month or so, I've had some like health challenges, but it gave me an opportunity to really think about it. And I know for 2020, that's how everybody felt, right? Where they had more time at home and they're like, you know what? It gave me time to reflect. I definitely had that in 2020. So we've been working together side by side all of 2020. So
Wow.
that was another perspective for us being together. But I do realize that in terms of like quality time, let's just go out to dinner, let's go
Yeah.
dancing, let's go bowling. We both enjoy bowling, things like that. We haven't spent as much time doing. So I'm being more intentional now. And it certainly has come to mind now that, hey, Steph, I need to make sure that we're allocating time for even nothing, because
Yeah.
he's an introvert. So even if I say, oh, let's go to brunch, oh, let's go to dinner, oh, let's go dancing, he's like, not really, right? So
Just watch a
now I
movie.
have to also, I just have to block time and say, hey, let's do nothing with Costa. Like that's kind of how I have to block out time now. So
Oh
next
gosh.
weekend we're kind of planning to just do nothing. Like that's the plan. I have it blocked
Yeah.
off on my calendar already, and I'm
Chill
excited about
weekend.
it. Yes,
That's awesome.
yes, yes,
Well,
yes.
Stephanie, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you for
I hope
having
that
me. Absolutely.
my viewers, like what they hear, and those that are in the small business, and are listening to this. I'll be putting Stephanie's contact information in the description
Awesome.
field when I post this on LinkedIn and other social media. Obviously, Stephanie may take it and repost it, so that's all good. And we get your company and yourself more exposure and helping out the community in other ways. So again, thank you so much, Stephanie. And to my viewers, thank you for tuning in and supporting me in this Z Talk venture that I started in April of 2020. So this is my 1 year
Full
anniversary
circle.
month.
Yes.
So I'll be doing a special anniversary video here soon. So stay tuned to that. All right.
We're doing a
Yeah,
one
there
year
you
anniversary virtual
go.
party. That's what I'm
Raise the
talking
roof.
about.
Raise the roof.
I love it. I
All
love it. I
right.
love it.
Listen,
Thank you so much for having
great,
me.
great to have you, and God bless you, and
Thank
we'll
you.
be in
Same
touch
to
soon.
you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And same to you, my friend.
Right. Bye bye.